Hey guys, how's it going? This is Christopher John Hill, and today we're going to be looking at hidden gems in Guild Wars 2. So this is basically another guide to gold farming, to spots that you may not necessarily be aware of. And in front of me we have Bram Airsson's. There he is. And I think I did a pretty good job. Not too bad at all. Very handsome. And this is about the best I could get it with the Total Makeover kit. So I think mine actually looks a little bit better than the one on the left. I don't know if you guys share that same opinion, but there it is. Okay, well, away we go. Okay, guys, here we are on the first map I wanted to show you, and everyone recognizes this map. It is the Auric Basin, and we are at the Eastwatch waypoint, which is just east of the map. And basically, I'm going to be showing you a farming path that can be quite profitable, especially if you have a lot of resources spawning in. And jungle plants are definitely one of them that spawns near this location. And sometimes you get some ancient wood, and other times get a little bit of flax, which is great to have. So there's one right there. And there we go. Now I'm going to show you exactly the path that you need to go in. So we're going to go straight up here, right past the waypoint. There's a chest right here. This is great, guys, if you want to farm the currency for this map, if you want to buy keys for the meta event, which is going to give you a lot of the good stuff during the meta event itself. And then you go down here next. And the character I have is Bram Airsson's. I called him Bram Wolfborn on this character. And oh, also you have a hidden event here, right here, this guy. This is always good to go for. It goes very quick, and it gives you a lot of loot very fast. It's always worth going for. So I always like to take him out. There we go, let's take him down with the pistols. So this is my version of Bram Airsson's. And he's got a lot of long range and short range abilities. Cloak, you can move around without having to worry about... Ooh, there we go. See guys? That was worth doing. We'll get that in our inventory. And we'll move on and get the flex. And then up here, there's another chest. So this is the second chest I'm showing you so far along this farming path. And the reason I'm calling this a hidden gem is because not everyone is necessarily aware of it. They don't know it exists. And it can be very profitable to do it, especially if the right resources spawn in on the instance that you're on. Sometimes at the top here you'll find ancient wood, other times not. On this occasion, not. And the chests themselves, they're not very heavily guarded at all. You just take out the guys that are there, and you can just get the loot. Or alternatively, you can put your rifle on, you can dodge, you can cloak, and then you can grab anything you want without having to worry about the enemies at all. And down here, we have 2 mussels, which will give you a chance. Oh, there's also a treasure mushroom as well, so you can take that guy out if you want to. That's up to you. But I always like to come down this farming path with multiple characters, because you're going to get a lot of currency really quickly, which is always nice. I mean, if you get the currency, then you can buy the keys during the meta event, and then you'll never run out. You'll have unlimited keys, and you can keep farming the meta event as much as you want. There's also a jungle plant right here. And at the top of the map, I'm going to show you another spot, which is also worth going for. Right here, as you can see, you have lots of mithril, you have flax. Just going to pick that up and we'll keep going. So we're going to head to the top right-hand corner of the map now, which I'm going to show you for a reason. Because there's something up there. There's also another small event right there. But you can also get additional of the currency on this map. So basically, you come through here, and you keep going. You got to be careful as well, of course. So you're always going to come across a lot of enemies along the way. This is why it helps to have a thief or a scrapper on this map, because you can just cloak and move on, no problems. And at the top here, this is what we're after. Sometimes you'll have chests that spawn here, ancient saplings, and of course the mussels. So always worth going for. And I've tried out all the glyphs on the characters, and I found out that the glyph of the Watch Knight is one of the best ones to go for because you get the Watchwork sprockets. And those are always worth getting because they give you extra loot, extra silver, which builds up to extra gold. At the moment, we don't need the cloak at all because we have the Marmoxes up here, but sometimes you have the Wind Riders that spawn in. But if they're not here, you can move around freely and just basically harvest the whole lot of it, no problems. Okay, so now that I've shown you that, we're going to come straight back to the waypoint, and I'll show you the bit that I missed out on along the way. So you go straight down here, and a lot of people are not necessarily aware of this, but you're going to find some more mussels. Sometimes they're at the top here, and other times they're down the bottom. So there's none there at the moment, so we'll head down, have a look, see if we can find any. I think there's usually about 2 here, usually. And if they're not at the top, then they're usually down the bottom. There you go. There's one right there. And then there's one across over there. And the reason we're going down here is for a very important reason, and I'll show you it in just a second. When you enter the middle of the map, you're going to have 2 locations that spawn jungle plants. And I think you guys are seeing where I'm going with this. If you have a lot of characters, you can essentially just leave them here. And outside of the meta events, you can just farm them over and over and over again. This is especially handy if you want to get lots of the Maguma lilies. And this map is always good to hang out on because you can do the meta events, which will give you a lot of chests. Okay, and without further ado, we're going to head on to the next location, which I'm going to show you. Which is, of course, just above the Crystal Oasis on the Desert Highlands map at the Brightwater Waypoint. And the reason we're going here is very similar to the reason we were on the Ark Basin map. Essentially, you're going to be finding a lot more of the mussels, and you're going to be finding a couple other hidden gems on the left-hand side of the map. There's also a strawberry patch, which is nearby the Choyas, which are just slightly north of this location. Basically, you go to the middle of this location, and then just above it, you'll find the location for the Choyas and the strawberries. I mean, that's always useful if you want to go there and pick up some extra strawberries for crafting. Okay, now that we're here, you have, as you can see, you have flax, you have mussels. It's very peaceful, it's very quiet. You're not going to be finding too many enemies that are going to give you too much trouble, especially on the right side of this map. Basically, I started here, and I'll be working my way all the way across to the very end. And I will show you why that is. I came here a while ago, and I was like, you know what, this is not such a bad spot to farm peacefully. If you're more in the mood to not be bothered by enemies, and you just want to get your farming done and enjoy the view, and this is one of those locations you can come to. As you can see, the resources I'm getting, they're building up very quickly. You find all kinds of stuff around here, including the Hamison trade caches, which will give you even more resources if you have the keys for them. And you can buy those keys at various vendors throughout the maps, and that basically gives you another side income, which is very useful indeed. So let's see if I can get the right mount for this. I have so many mounts, guys, and so many keys, it's hard to figure out which one's which. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there's another one. And then you have clusters of desert herbs, so you have more flax. As you can see, guys, there's quite a few resources here. Quite a few indeed. This is why I call this a hidden gem. Because there's so many things you can grab. There's another Hamstein trade cache. Wow. This is one thing after another. Not bad at all. And I mean, the biggest thing you have to worry about here is the drakes. But they're not very difficult to avoid. They're very easy to avoid, in fact. You just go right past them. Keep going. They don't really bother you too much. I mean, you have lentils there, but I don't want to go for that. There's another Hamashi trade cache up there, as you can see. And then there's Orcalum up there, if you can, you know, put the time in to get to it. So let's go up here. You're going to find a lost dwarven chest, and then through this portal, you're going to find another chest. Of course, the lost hidden chests are not farmable on all your characters, but it's worth going for. because you can always pick up at least 2 of them. Sometimes a reef drake will spawn in here and you have to wipe it out, but usually they stay outside this area. But they're not too difficult to wipe out. There you go. He's gone. Okay, there's another chest, Reforger's chest. And everyone that does this map is not necessarily going to be aware of this location. That's why I'm showing it to you guys. I found it a while back, and I farmed it time and time again. I was very happy with it, and I made a lot of, a lot of resources here. So let's spawn our mounts, and then we're going to head west. I'm going to show you another little hidden gem. Some of you may be aware of it, and some of you may not. See, there's another tread cache there. This is why cloaking will come in handy on this map. So if you have thieves, if you have scrappers, this is a good map for them to go to. And then you can swim around down here, and there's a lot of clams. So if you want to get resources for crafting, this is what I would highly recommend. A lot of clams all over the place. Now, the more of these you grab, the more chances you're going to be getting the pearls. And as everyone knows, pearls can be valuable when crafting or when selling at the trading post. So, there's also a couple more of these farming locations on the Crystal Oasis, which I will quickly show you in just a second. And when we go there, you'll be surprised at just how many that you can find and how closely together they're clumped up. Okay, so let's head there now. Okay, guys, we're on the Moon waypoint, which is, of course, on the Crystal Desert. And you have 2 locations. One of them is down the bottom left-hand corner of the map, and one of them is at the top left-hand corner of the map, both in the water, basically the sea. So we're going to show you those now. And I'll show you exactly why they're worth going to. If you have not many characters, and you want a lot of stuff to farm, and you're looking for crafting resources or just a little bit of extra side income, then I will and truly recommend going after these. Because they're not too hard to get to, they're not really heavily defended, and they're very quick to farm. Very quick indeed. So a lot of people tend to avoid the water because they don't like the combat. But we're not here for the combat itself, we're here just to collect the resources and then just to move on as quickly as possible. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And because I have the ability to swim underwater, thanks to ArenaNet introducing that ability to this particular mount, it makes life so much easier when farming these locations. So I do recommend the Glyph of Bounty always for grabbing anything that has harvesting purposes in regards to plants, plant nodes. And it gives you so many more, and it's so worth it. So as you guys can see, a lot of things clumped up together down here. You can grab it, and then you can just move on again. And even though that one was defended, it didn't matter. I was still able to get in and get out, no problems at all. Okay guys, here we are at the top left-hand corner of the map. Just to quickly show you, I went all the way from down the bottom up to the top left. And you don't have to come up here to grab it. You can always leave your characters at one of these spots and just grab everything if you have lots of characters. So we're going to go straight underneath the water, and I'll show you exactly where this is. There you go. A lot of clams. And these give you a nice little passive side income. As I said, guys, it's entirely up to you whether or not you want to come here, but if you don't have a lot of characters, I definitely recommend coming here every time, because it's going to help you early on in the game to build up a lot of resources, make a little extra silver along the way. Of course, you have a lot of piranhas down there, of course, so I would recommend maybe an elementalist to come down here using the lightning storms and everything else. But you can use warriors as well, or guardians, any character really, because you're basically just there to get the clams and the pearls and then move on. Okay, now I'm going to show you the final thing I wanted to show off, which is down the bottom right hand corner of the Crystal Oasis. And I'll show you the most efficient path of getting here. And there is a very important reason we're coming here. A lot of people are not aware of this, You may be aware of it yourself, or you may not be, but it's still worth showing you regardless. Okay, so we're going to go right up here. And then we're going to go straight across where the air elementals are. Then just head right around this corner. You can pick up some of these resources here too if you want to. It's always worth getting. The ancient wood, desert herbs. So here I would definitely recommend a thief or a scrapper with the cloaking abilities, because then you can basically farm to your heart's content and not be bothered by anything. So we went up once, and then we went up again, and now we're inside the area at the bottom right hand corner of the map. And exactly what we're after here is dead ahead. And it is, of course, I shall reveal it in 1 second. There it is, the rich quartz formation. So the quartz is something that is very valuable in this game. And as everyone knows, you can fuse these into charged quartz once per day if you have 25 of them inside of your bank box. So there you go. 10 quartz, right? Just like that, no problems at all. And that is the waypoint. Destiny's Gorge waypoint on the bottom right hand corner of the map. And that's the easiest, fastest, most efficient way. Okay guys, here we are in the Total Makeover section for Bram Eirsson's. And there you go. Looks pretty handsome. Pretty close in my opinion. Not too bad indeed. Okay, first is the height, so let's figure out what the height is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So is that height of 5? The physique, it'll be the top right one. The skin color, mid 6. As for the tattoos, you don't have to add them. I added it in just as a little extra. So I went for tattoo blue because of the Icebrood saga, of course. And then the bottom left one there. So you can go without it if you want to. Okay, as for the head, it is the middle right one. So basically go as far right as you can, and there it is. As for the hair, just have to find it. It will be that one right there, which is basically above that one. And you guys can change it up, switch it up. It's up to you entirely. You don't have to go for that one. I have the electro blue for the accessory color, and as for the hair color, I went for cherry. And that looks pretty close to his original hair, maybe a little bit brighter than usual, but I love it. As for the beard, he doesn't have one of course, but he looks kind of cute with one, I will admit. So you guys can change it up if you want and put one on him if you want to, or you can go without it. Up to you. Okay, as for the sliders, you have the middle one, the right one, right to the right, to the right, to the left, and to the left. As for the eye color, I believe I went for the pale green. Yep. Okay, as for the nose, to the left, to the left, to the left, and the left, and the left. As for the mouth, all the way to the right, all the way to the right, and to the right. And finally, we have the chin, which is to the right, to the left, to the right, and to the left. And there you have it, guys. If you want to make a Bram Eirsson's, here you are. all done for you. And guys, this took me multiple kits. I hope you appreciate it. It was extremely difficult to do Bram. I hope you like him. And I'm just going to go to the last section now and show you one last comparison to him and the original version of himself. But I think he looks quite good. Okay guys, here we are at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the hidden gems of Guild Wars 2 that I showed you today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And also keep in mind, I'm a writer on Amazon. I've just started a new series of books, so please feel free to go check that out, especially if you're a fan of series like Darling and the Franks, because the latest story I've been writing has been deeply inspired by it. Anyways, take care and stay safe. Cheers everyone, and bye for now.